Hey, it's Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success Seminars, where we share knowledge and tools for you to live a life you love. This last month, I did several interviews because it was Women's History Month. And one of the questions that a lot of the interviewers asked was, how, as women, do we take back our power? Well, I'm not sure we ever had the power in the first place, so I'm not sure that we're taking it back. But I did share a few things about how we can be more powerful. And I thought, why not share them with you? And really, most of what I have to share applies to both men and women. So, about 10 years ago, I read an article in Forbes that I love to refer to. And in this article was listed ways that we could stop being so complacent and accommodating and start growing in our power. And the article was so fascinating because it said that if we did these things that they were about to suggest, it would make a huge difference in the way we're perceived in life, especially in the workplace. And one thing that was suggested was to use more powerful language, starting by getting rid of the word just. So I remember thinking, like, really? But you know what? Just getting rid of just works. Here's an example. See, what we usually say is, I'm just checking in to see, or I just wanted to know if, or I just called because. And they suggested to listen to yourself for a week. And when you're about to say the word just don't. So instead of, oh, I'm just checking to see, you say, I'm checking to see. Or instead of, oh, I just wanted to know, you say, I wanted to know. Or instead of, oh, I just called because, it's, I called because. Can you feel the energetic difference? It's really about changing your whole aura, like your whole energy field, to one that's more empowered. And I remember taking the 1 week challenge, which was to notice how much during the week that you say just. And I was astounded to notice that I hardly spoke a declarative sentence. I hardly asked a question without the word just showing up. And you know what? It was scary for me to eliminate it because it was really more powerful when I did. Anyway, they went on to suggest that we replace weak words with stronger ones to, again, change the power of our overall communication. So, for example, instead of saying, I think, or, I believe, they asked us to opt for a stronger option like, I'm confident that, or instead of, I feel like what could happen is, we might want to say, I expect what could happen is. In these simple replacements, I'm confident about, or I expect that, can make a difference in how our message is perceived and like listened to. So, I mean, we don't want to be bullies or right at all costs. So we're not like, I know what could happen, because we don't. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to act like the boss in The Devil Wears Prada, but you might also want to stop wimping around. Okay. Another thing women tend to do to weaken our power is to constantly apologize. You're probably laughing right now when it's so not necessary. I mean, have you noticed that men usually don't do that? And it's not very attractive when they do. Saying you're sorry unnecessarily puts you in a weak, even a subservient position. Oh, I'm so sorry I interrupted. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed what you said. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked that. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I misquote you? Oh, I'm sorry that I'm sorry. Watch when you apologize and pretty much just eliminate it. I mean, only apologize when it's truly warranted. I missed what you said. Oh, I interrupted. Go ahead. One more way we can be more powerful, and many of us in the workplace have experienced this, it's to stop letting people take credit for your ideas. You bring up a point at a meeting and nobody heard you. Later, someone else repeats your thought and people applaud the great idea. When you stay silent and let others take credit for your ideas, you give your power away. I say, take the credit you deserve. And here's one way you might want to do it. You can simply say, thank you, John, for bringing up that idea that I had proposed earlier. I know you might be like, oh, yeah, do it. You deserve credit for your ideas. And of course, there's nothing you could do to feel more powerful than to say no when you mean it. When you say no to something that doesn't feel totally right for you, you're not really saying no. You're actually saying yes. You're saying yes to yourself and to your needs instead of somebody else's needs. And when you take care of your deepest needs in the long run, ultimately, everyone will be taken care of. When we don't say no, it's only because we want approval and we want people to like us, or we don't want to seem selfish. But that behavior comes at the expense of our own health and our own happiness. And I've always believed when you do what's best for yourself, when you act in alignment with your own real truth, the way the universe works is that you're then also serving the highest good of the other person. When you say yes, when you really want to say no, you're probably going to end up feeling some degree of subtle resentment about doing whatever it is that you've just agreed to. You'll feel resentment towards the other person, even though you're the one who said yes and you didn't have to. You'll feel resentment, even though it was your choice. So if the thought of saying no makes you really uncomfortable, here are a couple baby steps that you can take. Start with the little things. Like here's one that my dear friend and co-founder of Your Year of Miracles, Marcy Shimoff, suggests as a starter. When you're walking through the department store and the perfume demonstrator asks if you want a spritz, in a very nice way, you could say, no, thank you. I'm sure it's lovely, but not today. You think you can try that one? Another baby step you could take is if somebody calls you, like a telemarketer or someone asking for a donation to a cause, instead of being rude like they expect you to be, say something really nice. Say, I'm really not interested right now, and I would like you to take me off of your list, but it sounds like a really good cause, and I wish you great success tonight. Or thank you for supporting that political candidate. Marcy and I both love that one. I mean, they won't believe you said something nice while you're saying no. And usually they'll say something back to you like, wow, thanks. That's so nice of you. You said no and you made their day. You're probably the only person all night that was kind to them. So you'll end up feeling great and more empowered each time you do it. So here's a little project that you could take on between now and the next time we're together. And that is to say no to at least one thing a day. Just one thing that you genuinely want to say no to. There might be a feeling of contraction at the moment, but just breathe into it and notice how empowered you feel on the other side. And here's a way to make it easier. You know, again, usually women more than men. I don't want to be sexist. I'm just telling you what I observed. But what I have observed is that women have a knee-jerk reaction and we say yes spontaneously. Next time you're about to say your spontaneous yes, remember that you're allowed to pause. So pause, take a breath, give yourself a few moments before you respond, and ask yourself if it's really a yes. Remind yourself that time is not a renewable resource, and also that the world will in fact go on, even if you say no, and then give your genuine answer. If you're not sure, you can always say, I'm not sure that will work. I'd like to get back to you tomorrow. Is that okay? And I want to end today with a little story about Warren Buffett and saying no. Marcy and I have a friend who had lunch with him, and our friend asked him, what do you think is the key to your extraordinary success? And he said, without skimming a beat, the key is, he actually said, oh, that's easy. The key is that I say no to 99.99% of the things that come my way. He's also been quoted as saying the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. So look inside your heart and say no to the things that are really a no for you. Use more powerful language, stop apologizing, and don't forget to take credit when you deserve it. And then let me know in the comments how it goes and how much more powerful you feel. And next week, I'm going to talk about a different kind of power, one that's less about what you do on the outside and more about what you do on the inside. So happy 2 days after Women's History Month to all of you powerful women and to all of you incredible men who support them in their power.